back to another tutorial by Big Al's Barber Channel. Let's keep in mind, guys, we are a great resource for barbers, students, barbers, and barbershop owners. We are here to educate and motivate. What we are doing on this haircut right here, guys, we are going to do a razor fade, slick back on top. We're just going to razor it with a Bronze Series 9. So guys, we're going to record this video in real time as always to present you with the aspect of this haircut and how long it actually takes to do it. So what I'm starting right here, guys, I'm starting off with my wall balder, and if you guys aren't up on game on a wall balder, guys, a wall balder is a great machine to create your first guidelines. If you're wasting your trimmers on creating your first guidelines, which I used to do before, one day I picked up one of these balders and it's just magic. You know, look at this, it just cuts everything down like butter. There's no need wasting your trimmer blades. Trimmer blades are expensive, and when you're doing your guidelines with the trimmer blades like this that I'm doing right here, it just wastes your blade. It takes away from the sharpness. So I'd rather use a balder. The balder just works quickly, efficiently, and you can see it just creates a nice straight line. Of course, the balder I zero gapped it in case you guys are wondering. So from there we move on quickly to the next step. The next step is we're gonna first, we're just going to use our steel tooth comb right here just to comb everything in the right direction that we need. And what I'm using right here, guys, is I'm using my number 4. Remember, number 4 guard is a great guard to just to create a level playing field. So what I'm doing right here is just leveling out the sides a little bit. And I could do this all the way around if you wanted to, but as always, you guys know me, I fade in 3 sections. I fade on the right side, back side, and the left side. If you're new to this channel, guys, just try to keep along. As you guys go see, you'll see that most of my videos are all the same. So basically right there, I'm just using my comb, combing it all down, and just going right up the sides, creating a level playing field. So the machine I'm going to use for this fade is I'm going to use my Wahl 1919, the new Wahl 1919, guys. And of course, this machine has been zero gapped. If you guys don't know how to zero gap it, there's a video on my channel how to zero gap that. So what I did right there is I started with my number 1 guard, lever open, and then basically I'm just creating another guide. So remember, we went with the number 4 first, and now that we went with the number 4, we went with the number 1.5. One with the lever open, which is a 1.5, and created another guide. Now that I created that guide, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my steel tooth comb. Guys, if you guys aren't up on game on steel tooth comb, I guarantee you buy one of these puppies. They are badass. This steel tooth comb right here, I'm just using it for my clipper over comb, and this is what this steel tooth comb is just a perfect size, the perfect width that is just easy. It makes your clipper over comb that much easier. As you can see, in just a few strokes and I got it all down. Once I do that, guys, I'm gonna open my lever, no clip on there, and I'm just gonna create another guide. Go all the way across. You can see I'm just creating another guide, another guideline. Once I go across, I'm gonna lower my lever a 1/4 of the way, and I'm gonna go back to the same spot again, almost to this, maybe a little bit less, a little bit lower, I mean. Once I go all the way across, I'm gonna lower my lever halfway now, halfway, and basically I'm just raking that bottom line, just raking it, pushing it to the middle, pushing it right to where I need to go. Right there, just basically you can see I'm just pushing that shadow up. It's just the bottom shadow. I'm not worrying, never going higher than I created with my first original guideline. Right now I'm just focusing on the bottom line. Always have a little brush in your hand, and you just, you know, now the lever's completely closed, and I'm just focusing on the bottom line, just trying to push that bottom line up. So we started with the number 4, we went with the 1.5, some clipper over comb, and you can see right there, from here I can tell my clipper over comb is not perfect yet. So of course, I'll always go back and touch it up. So right there, I'm just staying below my guidelines, guys. Just stay below your guideline. Do never, without a clip, never go back above your 1.5. Okay, so now we're gonna go with a half clip, lever open, and we're just gonna slide it across that shadow that we created with a half. Just sliding it across. Once you go across, you're going to lower your lever quarter way, and you're going to drag it across the same spots again. Basically, you're just kind of fading it out. You'll see it get lighter and lighter. If it doesn't get any lighter, then you lower your lever another quarter way, and you just go across it again. As you can see, I don't know if you guys noticed, but sometimes on my strokes, I do like a little circular motion. And I've been using this technique a lot, and I have to credit one of my other fellow YouTubers, S-Craft Blends. He does it, and I've been using it, and it's very effective. So it's just like a little circular motion that I use, and it helps erasing that line. So quickly now we move on to the next step. Our next step is going to be, again, we're going to start with our number 4. Remember guys, the number 4 is what we get down to a level playing field, and that's just basically creating that side though it's nice and even. That way you could just come in and start up on your next step. And remember, the number 4, we're just gonna ride it up the sides, never really crossing into the curve, just staying on the outer part of the head, right around the crown section, what I call the crown. Once we move on from there, we're now going to move on to our next step. Our next step is going to be our number 1 clip lever open, which is a 1.5. And what we're going to do with that, guys, is we're going to go up about an inch and a half, almost halfway up the side of the head, as you can tell right there. And we're just going to create a guideline right there. As I go across, I drop my lever to a close, and now it's a number 1. And I'm just going up halfway then, kind of just blending out the bottom part. So we're just going up, creating a guideline with our 1.5. Once we're done with that 1.5, then we're going to come in and we're going to do the same thing we did on the other side. We're going to clipper over comb using our steel tooth comb. We're going to clipper over comb it and just level it out. So we're basically, what we did is we went with our number 4 first, then we went with our 1.5. So now what we're doing is blending that 1.5 into the number 4. Once I'm done with that, now I'm going to grab my clip, lever open, no clip on it, lever open, which is a half, and go across and create another guideline. As I go across, I lower my lever a quarter of the way, and I'm going to go back almost to the same spot again. Once I do that, I lower my lever halfway, and I'm going to go halfway up only. Halfway up. Never crossing back above that line, above that guideline that we created with the half, guys, okay? Once I go across, now I'm going to lower my lever all the way close, using my baby brush, and I'm just kind of wiping off my masterpiece, and then I'm just gonna use like that. See how you can see the little circular motion, and that's a little circular motion I like to use, especially on this step right here, because you're basically fading out that last bottom shadow right there. Once I fade it out right there, now I'm gonna come in with my GTX Galatorized trimmer, and I'm just gonna come in and rake it. Just rake the bottom line. Just make sure that there's nothing there anymore. Once I'm done with that, now I'll put my half clip on, and I'm gonna go across the top, just basically just grinding away at that center shadow, just raking. And see, I pointed it out to you right there. Now I'm lowering my lever a quarter of the way, and I'm gonna go across the same way again. As you go across, you'll see that it fades away, but not all the way. So then you lower your lever another quarter way, and I'm just basically going back the other way. And as you can see, you kind of can see that I'm doing that little circular motion right there. This is a great spot to do that circular motion, because I just noticed that the fade, as my friend S-Craft always says, it comes out a little bit more blurrier. So like I explained, 2 sides are done. Now we're gonna go on to the next side. I always fade this way, guys. It's just, you know, you have to have a system of cutting hair, and this is my system. So again, we're gonna go with our number 4. Go right up the sides and just I like to call it making my level playing field. Just get it all nice and even, get all the bulk down. Now I'm gonna go with my 1.5, and I'm gonna create a guide. Same thing, same steps I did on the other side. Nothing's changed. Once I create that guide across, I lower my lever and go across and just breaking up the bottom. Now that it's all nice and even, I'm gonna come back again with my steel tooth comb, guys. If you guys aren't in a bound game on steel tooth comb, I left the link below, guys. These combs are amazing, guys. This is my go-to blending comb right now. So just go across it. You can see I just lift up everything that sticks out, gets taken off. Now that I went across, I'm gonna grab my machine, lever open, I'm gonna go across it and create a guide, probably about 1 inch up, guys. Then I'm gonna lower my lever a quarter of the way, and I'm gonna go almost to the same spot, but a little bit lower, Once I go across, I'm gonna lower my lever halfway, and now I'm just dragging it across that bottom shadow, going only halfway up. As I go across, now I lower my lever quarter way more, and now it's closed. I'm just focusing on the bottom shadow, guys. Focusing on the bottom shadow. All that's left is my center shadow that I created with a half line, with a half guard right there. With a half line, with the half only, I'm sorry. The half guard, I'm gonna come in right now with a half guard now. Put the half guard on there, lever open, and then we're just gonna focus on that center shadow. Just raking out that center shadow. Here we go. Just rake it across. When you rake it across, you lower your lever a quarter of the way. Same thing, just go across. Now I lower another quarter way, and I'm just basically fading out that center shadow. You guys can tell right there that it just fades out perfectly. At this point, your fade's pretty much done. I mean, like, I go back and I do a little bit of scissor over comb to just get everything detail work. But the fade's pretty much done. So what I'm doing right here is I'm using my GTX again, GTS scalatorized trimmer. And I'm basically just cleaning up the bottom, because I'm going to come in right now with my Bronze Series 9. This gentleman doesn't like the straight razor, so we just use Bronze Series 9 to leave them nice and smooth. GTX trimmer, guys, that's what that's called. If you guys don't know how to get one of those, I created a video and it shows you exactly how to modify it and get it to that point. If you're interested, go back on my history, and there's a video that's called modifying the GTX. It's a great video. Go back and check it out, guys. So right here now, I'm going to come in with my Bronze Series 9, the legendary Bronze Series 9. If you guys aren't game on the bronze, guys, oh my, if you're using the regular foil, you're just wasting time. To me, it's I use both of them. I have both, don't get me wrong, because I have customers that still request the foil, so I provide it for them. But the majority of my customers get the Bronze Series 9. It's just a faster machine, guys. You'll save so much time, and your haircuts will come out that much smoother. You want smoothness, guys. It's all about getting that smoothness, getting that effect. There's no lines, as you guys could tell right there, just nice and smooth. As you can see, when I go up with my Bronze Series 9, right when I get to the part where my line was at, or where my guide was that I created, I go back with my circular motion. Use your circular motion. The circular motion is very, very helpful. Right here, I'm just going up and down basically, but you guys could tell the fade looks clean already. We're just cleaning up the bottom, making sure that it's nice and tight. No hair at all, guys. This is why it's called a fade, a razor fade. Normally you use a straight razor, but this gentleman doesn't like straight razor, so we use a razor, the razor machine, which, you know, in reality it's a closer shave than you actually using a straight razor. We'll take a quick minute to address this, but you know, guys, if you guys are doing fades, when you guys are doing fades, you guys should be leaving the bottom smooth, guys. If you're not using a razor machine, you should be using a straight razor. If you're doing a zero, me myself personally, I don't leave any kind of stubble on the bottom. I don't care if I'm doing a 1-year-old fade to a 85-year-old fade. It's still gonna get the brawn on them, because it just comes out nicer. Right here, I'm just going back and doing a little bit of detail work, kind of just cleaning up the bottom of the fade, making sure that it looks nice and tight, using again my wall of 1919, and just doing little spots that I see, that I might see spots. You know, sometimes you see a little spot that's darker than other spots, so you want to address those spots by fading them out. Just all detail work. That's exactly what it is, guys. Just detail work. Super simple. The detail work is what's going to distinguish you from other barbers, guys. That little extra you give, that little extra you go back and check, is so critical and so important in order to get the fades looking tight, you know? A lot of practice. That's what it takes to be a good fader. A lot of practice. I mean, trust me, guys. At first, this was so difficult for me, and my fades never came out this clean. It's just a repetitious thing. It really took me about 2 to 3 years to actually, when I felt that I mastered the fade. You know, it's not something that happens overnight. But if you're taught properly, yeah, you could be taught how to fade very quickly. My apprentice Raul, I taught him how to fade. I would say like in a month and a half, he was already fading. And right now it's just repetitious. The more he does, the better he's gonna get. So right here we're working on the top, guys. He didn't want too much off the top. We're just basically lifting it up and taking out the split ends. So I'm just going up, creating a guide, and as I go up, like the way I cut always on the top, I cut in 4 sections. So I started off in the middle. Now I'm going to the side right there, as you can see. Now I'm gonna go back and address the other middle. And as I go up, I'm just basically just cutting off the split ends. Not even cutting off that much, maybe a half an inch. We're having some chuckles here at the shop right here. You know, I record the sound on these, but I don't play back, so I'm just doing voiceover. But you can imagine the shenanigans and the things that go on in barbershop. For you guys that are getting started in this business, you know, the barbershop talk is one of the most important things of the business, you know. It's not all about haircutting. It's about having good communications, you know, knowing your sports, knowing your politics, knowing your knowing what's going on in current affairs out in the world, because you know there's so much more than just cutting good hair. You have to have a good attitude. You have to provide good customer service. You have to be knowledgeable when your customer talks to you, so you don't sound dumb. You want to sound like you know what you're talking about. And the way you do that is by being on top of current affairs, guys. That's a big part of being a barber. So right here, the top is pretty much done. Well, as always, when I do the top, I crisscross. I went from front to back, and then when I went from side to side, now I'm just kind of cleaning it up, making sure that everything's nice and even. Once you comb it back, when you're standing above them behind, you could kind of see where you might have missed a spot. So I'm just going back again, a little detail work, just spot checking and making sure that everything looks good. Mastering a fade, guys, is not going to be something that you're going to do overnight. Keep that in mind. This is a process, you know. It's like anything. You have to be repetitious with it. If you avoid doing fades and you avoid the hard haircuts, you'll never get good at them, guys. You'll never be good at them. The best thing to do is attack it head on. A fade comes in, you're not good at fading, then guess what? Then you need to learn how to fade. You need to hang in there and learn everything that you need to learn and go through it. Because if you don't go through it, you'll never learn it. Right here, I'm just basically, again, using my steel tooth comb. I provided a link below, guys. It's great combs. They come in two. This is what I call the flat top comb, and then they have another one that's a black straight comb. It's really nice. So just right there, just again, detail work. The haircut is pretty much done. So I'm just pretty much just doing a lot of detail work all the way around. A little clip over comb, making sure that everything lays down nice, that everything lays down good. At this point, guys, the haircut is pretty much done. You know what? Simple cut. This gentleman comes every 2 weeks. Him and his son provide good service. You know, you give them good haircut. You know, this is how you build your rapport with your customers, your clients, so that they continue to come back to you. Once you're done with the haircut, then the last final detail spots come in. You know, like you pull off your neck strip. If he's getting a regular haircut, I would shave his neck. If he has an extremely hairy neck, I'll shave his neck with a straight razor. But on a fade like this, I normally don't do straight razor on him because I am using the Bronze Series 9. So right there, I showed you, I went back and I just cleaned up his neck with the trimmer real quick, get all the longer hairs, and then I'm gonna come back now with the Bronze Series 9 and just clean it all up. Do a real quick check on that. Get a little bit of hair gel. What I'm using on him is Gentleman Republic. If you guys have never heard of Gentleman Republic, I suggest you guys look into it. It's a great gel to have for your shop. Smells good. It's a good price, so you're able to make money on it. So it's a great stuff. If you want to try it, there's a link below again in my description. You can buy a bottle, try it out, and if you do, let me know. I'll give you guys my contact information for the distributor on that. But Gentleman Republic's always a good sale. At this point, guys, the haircut is completely done. You guys could tell Big Rob looks like a happy man. Basically, we're completely done. Give him a little squirt of smell good. Always use smell good on everybody. Get your favorite aftershave. That way the customer always looks and smells good. Again, guys, I appreciate you guys watching my channel. If you guys haven't subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe. We are dropping content daily here, trying to help out you further your barber career. With that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Grind on.